Welcome to Wisdom Teachings with Dr. Amanda Love. Today's topic, the ecstasy of self-responsibility. The ecstasy of self-responsibility. Many people have aversion to the word responsibility. It often comes with a sense of dread or the feeling of burden or being weighed down. Most people don't feel ecstatic rapture when they say the word responsibility. But why not? Why does responsibility feel so heavy to us? Often it is because we associate the word responsibility with commitment and/or control. We feel that if we are responsible, then it means that we are in charge of how things turn out. We take this to mean things such as how other people feel, the happenings of the arisings and movements of life, and the arrangement of the landing of all of the parts. Ultimately, our mind knows that it isn't in control of all of the things, but it doesn't want to accept that fact. So rather than embracing the obvious, we create resistance, aversion, or a compensatory over-responsibility to anything associated with responsibility. It is common that people feel trapped by their responsibilities. Responsibilities feel like non-negotiable death sentences. This makes us avoidant of commitment because we fear not being able to get out. Get out of what exactly? The feeling that we are trapped, that we can't do the things we want to do, or that something arbitrarily is limiting us in some way of which we have no power or control. It's no wonder we feel adverse to responsibility. What we fail to recognize is that knowing our power to alter ourselves or a situation comes from taking responsibility. If we don't take responsibility for ourselves and our life, we will be thrown around and controlled by it. We will feel aimless and adrift rather than feeling directional and like we are fulfilling our purpose for existing. In talking about responsibility, we must also dive into what it is we are responsible to. Are we responsible to our inner alignment or to our sense of obligation or approval by others? Are we committed to being perceived a certain way, or are we committed to being ourselves? Are we attempting to control others or be in charge of ourselves? These are different allegiances. When we attempt to get approval, do things out of obligation, or control others' experience of life, we are overstepping our responsibility. While it might feel like the safe, proper, or right thing to do in the moment, long term it will take a toll on us. We will feel greater and greater victimization to our lives and less powerful. We will project that our life's circumstantial responsibilities limit us, and we will avoid being fully committed to ourselves and our lives. This is a life that is functional but lacks the luster of one's full expression. The root of the word responsibility is response, or to respond. To be responsible means to be responsive. You could also say engage, participate, play, or co-create. Most people don't have negative definitions of those words. The negativity arises when there is an association with control beyond what one can or should try to control. You could say that you are only truly responsible to your alignment and your state of being, meaning how you feel and the actions you take in your life. You are not responsible for what happens, period. Imagine the amount of self-forgiveness that every being in the world would feel if they understood this. And with that amount of radical forgiveness occurring, imagine what a softer world we would live in, where we all felt freer to be responsible to ourselves, acting in alignment with our joy and feeling good. Are you starting to warm up to responsibility yet? It's pretty darn sexy. But you really don't know that until you try it on. Responsibility is an expression of your power. When you are responsive, you feel dynamic, like you can impact and influence your life. You are energized and alive. In contrast to this, when you avoid responsibility, you feel confused, uncertain, and like you are waiting for life to give you something, like an answer, a clue, a sign, some money, anything at all. The source of you feels outside of you because you haven't owned yourself as the source. You haven't taken responsibility for you. The thing that you are waiting on is you, for you to arrive on the scene, to show up in your life and guide the way through radical self-responsibility. Radical self-responsibility might be the sexiest trait in existence. It's to be rooted in your power, no matter what the circumstances of your life are or what the other people in your life are thinking or feeling about you. It's to be fully affected and infected by the state of being of your preference. It's choosing what you want to feel over and over and over again, despite what your mind keeps telling you that you should feel about whatever is happening in your life. To master yourself in these ways is to be radically self-responsible. Imagine if your true mission in life is simply to feel as good as you can feel. The ultimate challenge being to not allow anything to interfere with your feeling of goodness. No sensation, no emotion, no thought, no word, no idea, no belief, no nothing interfering with you feeling good. This doesn't mean that there aren't waves of seeming disruption or incoherence in your life experience. It just means that you are actively and awarely choosing what you desire to feel rather than what you've been conditioned to feel in response to those waves. Not as a denial of your experience, but as the chooser of it. You don't let anything knock you from your true self, your true primordial state of goodness, of all is well. It can become a game you play with yourself of how much goodness can you feel now, and in this situation, and that scenario. What will be your biggest challengers? Money, time, emotions, sensations? You are bigger than all of them because you are the creator of all of them. They only exist because you do. Recognize yourself more and more as the source of your experience and come to intimately know the ecstasy of self-responsibility.